Hi there and welcome along to Sale near Manchester, where you're joining me at the Residential Landlords Association headquarters. And right now I'm going to take you on a whistle-stop tour inside these four walls to find out how the RLA support landlords. The RLA employs 22 staff and also has an office in Wales. There are various different departments behind me, and we're going to now go and meet some of those staff members and see what their department does.
Basically, we're here to help members access the services, whether it be the landlord advice team, access to their account online, directing them towards documents, guides, whatever information it is they need or whatever support and help they might need from us, we'll direct them to the department concerned. So that's what we do here in Member Services. Done over 500 new members this month, which is something of an achievement. The more members we attract, the more of a voice we have in being able to influence decisions made both locally and centrally through central local government.
Now I'm joined by John in Policy and Communications, and we just heard from Adrian, John, that there is strength in landlord numbers at a policy level, and that's really where you come in, isn't it?
Absolutely. When any organisation is looking to talk to the government and challenge or change legislation, then the more people you speak for, the more seriously you'll be taken. So getting a united landlord voice, getting people to lobby their MPs, their assembly members or the local councillors, it's really important that we have numbers behind us when we do that.
And you're running quite a few campaigns at the moment, aren't you?
It's a hugely busy time for landlords, and there's a lot of legislation coming out at the moment. Our main priorities are around about the tax changes that we're seeing at the moment, the mortgage interest relief and stamp duty changes that are coming forward over the next few years. And so the bottom line is we're about making renting better across the sector, whether that's for landlords, tenants, local authorities. We want to see good legislation that helps landlords deliver appropriate accommodation at every level of the market, and the government needs to understand that their actions do have an impact on landlords, on tenants, on housing supply and on rent levels.
I think that, with Clause 24 and the other changes that are coming, I think landlords need a voice now like never before.
But it's an absolutely major change that I think many people weren't expecting in last year's budget, and we really need to ensure that landlords' voices are heard. We've warned the government about what we expect to happen in terms of rent increases, in terms of lack of supply, at the very time that private rented housing is predicted to be in even greater demand.
Joining me now is Robert, who is Training and Development Manager here at the RLA. And Robert, landlord education is so important, isn't it? Because educated landlords are better landlords.
That's right, yeah. And the whole aim is really to raise that benchmark for all landlords, so we've got consistency and, as I say, a better landlord and relations with tenants at the end of the day. And it covers a range from the basic principles of being a landlord through to immigration, right to rent, Legionella. So we try to cover a diverse range of subject matter for the landlord. These
kind of courses are a great way for landlords to become educated and sometimes to even refresh their knowledge as things like Section 21 changes. So really this is a great resource again for them to tap into to keep updated.
That's right. Our strapline is learn, refresh and update.
Oh, brilliant.
So that is our key strapline for training in the RLA. So,
brilliant.
Yeah, that underlines everything that we try and do.
Good afternoon, you're through to Rachel on the Landlord Advice team.
Well, right now I'm in one of the busiest departments of RLA HQ, and I'm joined by Rupinder. And Rupinder, going on in the background, we've got the advice line where landlords can call in and get advice. And I guess a good way to describe it, it's really like phone a friend for landlords, isn't it?
It is indeed. I mean, on a daily basis, Monday to Friday, we've got landlords ringing distressed. Their tenants have not paid the rent for a couple of months. They've damaged the property. Lots of different problems, but mainly it's rent arrears, antisocial behaviour and damage to the property. On an average day, I would say about 140 calls a day. There's 6 advisors, including myself as the advice team manager, with a lot of the long-standing members with the advisors here in the team that you can see in the background. They build a relationship, a rapport. They can ring one day, they ask to speak to the same advisor, and it's that continuation. They've told the story. There's a friendly voice at the end of the line, and we're there to support them and guide them every step of the way where we can.
I bet you must have heard of every single possible landlord problem or situation within these four walls.
We hear lots and lots of stories about toilets being blocked, roofs, guttering, sofa repairs, carpet stains, tenants not getting on with each other, antisocial behaviour. My tenant's got a cannabis farm. We hear everything.
Yes,
And we also hear about some ladies of the night as well in some of the properties. So yes, there isn't anything we've not heard or advised on.
Well, that concludes our very swift tour of RLA HQ. And if you'd like to interact with the RLA, you can do so in many ways and across many different platforms. There is, of course, their helpline for members. You can also visit them at shows and events around the UK. There is the RLA forums and, of course, the RLA hub on their website. So I do hope you've enjoyed this brief insight into the work of the Residential Landlords Association.